got to tell you, science has been weaponized, just so you know, weaponized. So the cult, which is science, okay, that's a real cult right there. It's been weaponized. That's what it's been, really. It's weaponized on a lot of different levels, too, all the way down to trolls being paid to scream science, 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 right? What happens is I feel so bad for so many people who just get sick in their life. And they think the science research has all the answers. And they, because their chemistry lab in high school and college, and they just thought science is everything. Go on, the internet. You can figure out all your little science facts wherever you want. But man, does it all change. It all changes when you're sick. It changes when you're sick with the long plague symptoms afterwards. It changes when you're sick with all your different symptoms, conditions. It changes when you got brain fog and nothing's fixing it and you're trying every drug in the book. It changes fast. And then you realize science research has no answers. And those little published studies and research papers, they can't fix your brain fog. How come? How come? The Insta-cult is trying to delete me. That's what Darcy said, Darcy Lee. So, it's really, what medical medium information is a reminder of, you can heal without having to be trapped in that brainwashed cult that's out there. So you can heal, we can think outside the box, we can have information outside the box, and I'm not talking about paid for information with alternative science so that you guys can be suckers and buy so much stuff, man. Your gut health products, your probiotics, your fish oils, your charcoal, your fulvic minerals, your zeolites, whatever it is. So you guys can just be suckers to every little new thing that comes out. So you can be like, okay, I better try this. Well, I better try this. I better try this, right? In alternative science, they make sure they pay for all their little research papers. This has this in it, this has that in it, right? And basically the bottom line is, it's a way to kind of sidetrack this. Will you lose another year? Well, I'm trying this for my brain fog, I'm trying that for my fatigue, and you lost another 6-8 months. Let me go to this new doctor now. This new doctor's doing these tests. Now this doctor's doing parasitical tests. Now this doctor's doing food allergy tests. Now this doctor's doing food sensitivity tests. And so it's rigged. It's rigged to keep you mind screwed, is what it is. And the cults are really hard on people more than ever before. What you're going to see is a lot more sick people. The media is going to suppress it. But there's going to be a lot more sick people happening with chronic illness in this year and the next coming year. And with the people with chronic illness, what they're going to be doing is bumping into walls. Because it's like, okay, wait a minute here. I thought research and science had it down. I didn't know I was a dog waiting for a bone. I didn't know I was a dog waiting for a bone. That's what people are going to say. They're like, I didn't know I was a dog waiting for a bone. I didn't know. And that's what's going to happen to so many people. It's like you're living your life, you're indestructible, you can do what you want, you can go where you want, you can sit on the beach for 4 hours in 90-degree sun with suntan lotion on that's highly toxic, you can go live in you can dump a bunch of perfume on you, you could light a bunch of scented candles, you can run around, doesn't matter what you're doing, you could run around all day and go eat at restaurants and take your gamble with Russian roulette of all those gastric abominations that have all kinds of dangerous foodborne or microorganisms in it, and you can do that, you can play the game. Until you're sick, and then you're a dog waiting for a bone. And you're like, wait a minute. You mean to tell me for 50 years there's people out there that got sick when they're 20 years old and now they're 70 years old and they're still sick? I thought science, what? You all of a sudden learn that people are sick. And it's not just this phantom thing where I got a friend who's got allergies, I got a friend who went to the doctor because they got a problem, I got a friend that's got diabetes. It's kind of a distant thing, oh, that can't be me. That's not going to be me. What is that? That's not going to be me. And it's kind of like a distant thing in the back of your mind. But then when you get sick, you know. I was sick for years. Tori Karen says I was sick for years chasing those dog bones until I came across Medical Medium. Thank you, W. The dog bones are really there's something else. I'll tell you how it works out there. You got paid for science and alternative medicine, you got paid for science and conventional medicine, right? Meanwhile, there's a whole private sector of science that nobody's got privy to. Nobody's privy to. Okay? A whole bunch of weaponized science that no one's privy to when it comes to biological warfare and everything. See, no one sees it. The public scientists don't see it. Did you know Anthony Epstein, right? Dr. Epstein, okay, who discovered the monovirus, discovered Epstein-Barr, he discovered it publicly. It was already discovered back before 1920 and already weaponized. Private science that doesn't tell medical science that's public, virologists and everybody else that doesn't tell medical science that's public, private science already knew about Epstein-Barr. They're the ones that put that out there before 1920. That's already been out there in labs forever in the private sector. And then all of a sudden, Dr. Epstein in 1964 or whatever it was, 1966, saw something in a microscope and said, "What is this?" And he discovered the Epstein-Barr virus. That thing was already discovered. That's already been out there. It's already been out there. Yeah, Nicole, go to TikTok. You're going to keep on getting kicked off. I know everybody's getting kicked off. I get it. I'm making some mashed potatoes. What science do you believe in? Did you know what science said in 1980? Science that wasn't paid for by the caffeine industry. Do you know what they said in 1980 about caffeine? Maybe some of you guys remember this. It'll kill you. It'll blow your heart out over time. It'll give you diabetes. It'll kill your kidneys. Right? That's what science said about caffeine in 1980. Science that wasn't paid for by the caffeine industry. And then the caffeine industry said, "You ain't going to do that. Because we got power. We're going to make sure that you never say that again. And we're going to put our own studies out and say how, see, caffeine's good for you. Makes you all bright-eyed and all bright-eyed in the morning. Let me have that." That's what I mean. There's a science war out there. And so any good science that wants to come out to tell the truth a little bit gets their butt kicked, especially now. You're not allowed to put anything out. You're not allowed. You should rewatch this. I'm gonna repost it. I'm gonna post this IGTV on IG, guys. And on TikTok, if you didn't catch the beginning, you can go watch it there too later. So, but what you're gonna find is people waiting for a bone. Yeah, it's true. They're gonna be. And they are. They already are. They have been for years. Oh my God. I can't tell you guys how many times I've heard it in the 1990s, the late 80s, people coming to medical meeting for help, the late 90s, early 2000s, heard it every day. Droves of people. I've been sick for 20 years with thyroid problems. I've been sick for 30 years with eczema. I've been sick for 10 years with lupus. I've been sick for 10 years with MS. I've been sick. It's like, once you get sick, unless you know your way out, you're on the train. You're on the science. You're waiting for the bone. That's what you're doing. You're hoping science is going to save you. It does save you when you need a heart valve replaced. It does save you when you break your leg. It does save you when you got an aneurysm that's physically capable. You can get it out with a robot, because I talk to the surgeons all the time. You can, it's incredible. It's a blessing for parts changing, for nuts and bolts. And I talked about this, you guys, many times. For nuts and bolts, it's a blessing for nuts and bolts. That means let's try to replace a broken part inside of you, right? But that's not where all the sickness is going to be. I'm sorry, you guys. That's not it. All the sickness is going to be neurological fatigue. In the next 5 to 10 years, next 1 to 10 years, neurological fatigue and brain fog is going to dominate. Crippling anxiety is going to dominate. And that's what's going to happen. And guess what? Science isn't going to have anything to say about it. Nothing to say about it. People who have been dealing with that anyway for years and years and years, it's the same thing. So, you guys, I'm making some mashed potatoes. It's comfort food. Why are we starving? Why are we starving? Okay? These are peeled steamed potatoes. I just mashed them. I'm throwing them in the pan. So Mohar says it's happening now. You see it every day, right? You better believe it's happening now. Absolutely. It is happening now. It is. Truly, truly, truly. So, why are you overeating? Why do you feel a need to overeat? Right? So, I'm putting some mashed potatoes in here. I know you guys probably can't see this too easy, so let's just do this. Let's get that going in there. For one, we're starving. Our brain is starving. Libby says, I am always hungry. It's not your fault. Science and research's fault. They don't teach anybody how to eat. They don't care. They want you to eat the worst you can possibly eat. Alternative science doesn't even really care. They don't. They don't. They don't. They want to tell you lies. Fraudulent lies like your brain is made completely out of fat and that your brain lives off of fat and your brain thrives and eats fat. Right? That's a lie. That's fraud. That's fraud. Your brain thrives off of sugar. It thrives off of glucose. If your brain doesn't get fed glucose in 5 seconds, Smoky Mountain Paradise, I just saw you come up. If your brain doesn't get fed glucose within 5 seconds, it starts to die. Starts to die. If your brain doesn't get fed fat, it thrives. Interesting. You're a heavy thinker? How many of you guys are heavy thinkers? I want to know. Clubhouse, you guys heavy thinkers? IG, you guys heavy thinkers? TikTok, you guys heavy thinkers? Right? Just wondering if you guys are heavy. Who's a heavy thinker? I want to know. I want to know. Spirit of Compassion says that almost all of you guys are heavy thinkers. Okay? Well, you're going to need the glucose to your brain. You burn that glucose up like it's candy, man. It just gets burned up. It gets burned up. You need the glucose in the brain to cool the brain down because your heavy thinking heats it up, electrifies it, gets it too hot. The heavy thinking, that's you? That's you? That's you too? Amanda, you too? Spirit of Compassion's right. Everybody's a heavy thinker here. You too? Yeah. Rosie says heavy thinker. Miss Jane says heavy thinker. TikTok, you guys are saying it too. Heavy thinker, you guys too? Whoa. You guys are thinking like crazy. Totally thinking. Glucose is your antifreeze to cool your engine down, to cool your brain down. Not fat. Not fat. Fat dehydrates your brain. Did you guys know that? Fat dehydrates your brain. Here's how the cults work. Give you misinformation, pay for it, make you pay for misinformation, provide tools out there that are completely not there to help you with any condition, really. The cults are amazing on how that works. The cults are just, it's incredible what the cults do. And science and research cult, that's the biggest cult of all. That's the one that controls it all. Heavy thinking means you are using high amounts of electricity. Keep getting kicked off? I know. Sorry about that. It's not our, it's, you know. There's so many, yeah, the system's just, it's set up to kick everybody off. Not here though. But yeah, it's just terrible. I'm going to put some lime in here. Got some lemon too. So I'm making mashed potatoes, a comfort food. What you're going to find with just simple mashed potatoes without butter, without fat, is what you're going to find is that's going to be a quick glucose food for the brain to cool it down and to feed it. Why does science say, I just saw something and it went up, boop, gone. I'll look for it again. So I'm making some mashed potatoes right now. Why does science say the brain is made out of fat? Well, that's kind of funny. Why did science say 30 years ago that the brain's made out of sugar? I'm talking about hardcore conventional science. where they cut brains open. They're cutting brains open. Cadavers. People that dedicate their life to science, their body to science afterwards. 30 years ago, they're cutting all these brains open, and they're realizing the brain is made out of sugar, glycogen storage. So why are they saying the brain is made out of fat? Because it's all a game. You say the brain's made out of sugar, and then the sugar industry dominates and becomes trillions of dollars, takes over the planet. You brainwash everybody, that's what happens. But that's not why they do that. Why did science discover that the brain is made out of sugar, glycogen storage is in it, and it needs sugar? Why did they discover that and then they flipped it around later? Because science works for whoever is puppeteering it. I'm going to drop some peas in here. These are frozen peas. I just popped in here, you guys. Some frozen peas. This pan's really hot right now. I might put in a touch of water in here. The brain is sweet. It's sweet. If you ever ate brain, if you're an animal protein person, by the way, I support animal protein people. I support vegans, vegetarians, like everybody. I support them all. Okay. Medical medium information is about saving lives, whether you're animal protein or you're plant-based. It's not about dogma. Dogma. And it's not about waiting for a bone. Hoping to God that after being sick for 10 years, science can figure out why you have low platelets. So science can figure out why you have some kind of problem. Science can figure out why you got fatigue, aches and pains, and trigeminal neuralgia, and nerve problems, and brain fog. Emma Knights, so you're here to bless me today, huh? A Mercury retrograde blessing? This guy has no medical qualifications. Well, that's nice of you. Never said I had medical qualifications. Instead, I say the opposite all the time. But I think you're, hold on, I'm gonna get these cooking a little bit. So I get what you're saying. So Emma, what you're saying is, leave then, laugh out loud, I saw that. So Emma Knight, what you're saying is I don't have medical qualifications, right? So I guess I shouldn't be giving any like shouldn't write books. I shouldn't be teaching doctors. I shouldn't be saving lives around the planet because I don't have a qualification. Really? So you want some letters after my name? That's going to make it all go away? It's going to make your problems all go away? Ryan says, I think I hear her calling. Let's see if Emma calls. I don't know if this is Emma. Hello? Oh, hold it. Calm down, Emma. You're totally emotional right now. Calm down. Emma, back off. Stop with the hate. Back off. You called me to hate on me? Chill out. What's the problem? What's really the problem, Emma? That you're an unhappy person? Talk to me about it. Say, Emma Knight, you're unhappy? Why are you unhappy? Why are you so miserable? Life didn't turn out the way you wanted it to turn out for you? Well, why are you then blaming me, Emma? Why are you freaking out? What's going on? Your psychiatrist? What about your psychiatrist? You had to see a new psychiatrist? Emma, there's nothing wrong with seeing a psychiatrist. He recommended new medications and it's got you off. Well, why don't you talk to your psychiatrist and find out and check into that? If you're telling me the medications are making you crazy, yeah, you said crazy. You said you feel like you need a straitjacket. That's horrible. You shouldn't even be saying that. That's terrible, Emma. Don't even go there. You should go back to your psychiatrist and ask him, maybe ask him for more help. You did? And he says you need to be on double the medication? I would get a second opinion if that was me. You do what you want to do, but I'm just saying I would get a second opinion. Well, listen, if you want to hate on me today because you don't understand how science research works and you don't know why people are sick and you don't understand the pain and suffering everybody's going through, and if you want to rank on me and hate on me, that's okay. I mean, just stay here and maybe you'll learn something. I hope you take care of yourself. Thanks for calling. The mashed potatoes are in. Still mashing it. I'm going to put some lime in here. The brain runs on glucose. Yes, there's traces of fat in the brain. Absolutely, there's traces of fat in the brain. 100%, there is. But that's not how the brain works. You can stop eating fats and thrive. You stop eating sugar, you die. What's up with that? I'd like to know that one right there. Emma needs free as a bird meditation. I'm doing the brain meditation tonight, you guys. 3 times I'm doing it. So whenever you do it, you'll catch me at one point. It's not going to be live like this. I'm just going to be in my house and laying down and doing it. Yeah, bananas are okay for the brain. I just saw that question right there. How you guys doing on TikTok? How you guys doing on IG? Check out the brain meditation I'm going to be doing. It's at Medical Me and Podcast and Apple Podcasts. It's the uncensored version. It's my podcast, and it's a podcast episode. It's Medical Me and Podcast. You're excited to do it, Ashley? Ashley Hiven, good to see you. Thank you for being here. You guys are awesome. So I got some mashed potatoes. I'm going to start putting I'm going to put a little coriander in these. That's what I'm doing this time. I made the mashed potatoes on YouTube and Facebook, right? And I didn't do the spices that time because there's some people out there that they're more sensitive, and and it was just a plain comfort food, but it was really good. Put some cumin in there, and I'm going to put lots of onion powder in this too. So some onion powder. I put a decent 2 teaspoons in there for sure. Putting some more lemon in here too. Hopefully the seeds don't pop out. So that's what we have. That's the way I like it. So I'm actually mixing up the potatoes. I'm going to put some hot pepper in here. Let's get a little bit of hot pepper. I just got to move the brain out of the way. But let me just give you guys a little rundown on this. The brain needs sugar to cool it down. It also has glycogen all throughout the brain. So your brain is made out of hardened glycogen. That's your glucose storage, right? It becomes brain tissue over time. That's how your brain develops and grows. And if you keep on bombarding your brain of salt and fat, you starve it. You starve it. So I'm just cooking this a little bit more, a little bit longer. Just a couple little tidbits right there that are really important. I'm going to put this back over here. What I like to do with this dish is I like to take lettuce and I like to put it inside these little lettuce boats. It's just what I like to do. What I like about this dish is you won't see avocado in it. And I'm not saying don't ever eat an avocado or anything like that, right? But what I like about this dish is you're not going to see avocado in it, you're not going to see nut butters in it, you're not going to see oil in it, because that's how you get the insulin resistance, which you know what that means, insulin resistance? That means fat stops your brain from getting the sugar it needs. It stops your muscles and your organs from getting all the sugar it needs because you're getting insulin resistance, and then you just start losing energy, you start getting, not feeling well and all of that. Will good overcome evil? Just saw that. Will good overcome evil? Look. The fight is on out there. I gotta put the pepper in there. The fight is on out there. Let me cut some hot pepper up real quick. Good always wins in the end. Truth always prevails in the end. So you guys, I'm just cutting up some hot pepper. These are chilies. They're really super chilies is what they are. They're hot. I'm just gonna mix that in, these mashed potatoes right here. It's hot chili. What I recommend is don't rub your eye after you cut one of these babies. If you've got hot peppers wherever you are, just don't start rubbing your eye. Rinse your hands off, because the minute you rub your eye, you're gonna be hurting. Happens all the time. Happens to me. All of a sudden you see those beauties right there? You see them right on top? Karis says, why do some people not get sick while eating all the wrong foods and doing all the wrong things? Medical medium information explains that all the time. How many pathogens does somebody have? They collect them along the way. You get 1 or 2 Epstein-Barrs, you get a shingles virus, you get some different streptococcus, you get some E. coli, some staph in your system, and your system just starts to break down over time. And then you're that person. And first of all, everybody gets sick. And then how many toxic heavy metals do you have? Do you have mercury? Do you have aluminum? Do you have cadmium? Do you have lead? Do you have copper in your system? So what happens is that everybody, why do some people not get sick? Well, their Epstein-Barr isn't out to play yet, hasn't been triggered, hasn't been reactivated. Maybe they had mono when they're younger, but it's been dormant. Maybe they didn't get a new EBV. Whatever it is that's holding them back from being sick, is it all changes eventually. They don't. Everybody dies of something. Nobody dies of old age anymore. They die in their sleep with no problems. Because scratching my head on that one, you can be 60 years old and just downright miserable, sick with a whole bunch of different ailments. You can live to be 80. It's a bunch of different ailments. You can live to be 100 sick in ailments. Maybe you would have made it to 130 and died in your sleep naturally if you had all your toxins out of your system and you had some love and support, no toxins. Your pathogens weren't causing any trouble. Maybe you didn't even get any pathogens. A lot of people get away with it and they don't get any pathogens. And then you get people then you get kids. 8 years old, 9 years old, they got pathogens, they got viruses, they got bacteria, they got toxic heavy metals, and they're sick. They're sick. And you got 20-year-olds that are really sick, stuck on mattress island, can't function, brain fog. They're on medications, they're seeing doctors everywhere, they're laying on their couch, they're barely functioning, they're smoking weed because they're trying to, use weed as an answer. Because someone's like, yeah, weed's a medicine. Someone's like trying to convince people, and now you're 22 years old and you're sitting on your couch and you're sick with anxiety and neurological fatigue and you're smoking weed every day, thinking you're treating it. So it's like it's not an easy road out there. And you'll see in the next couple of years, everybody's sick. Everybody's sick. It's going to get there. Next 2-3 years, all you're going to hear is like in your workplace, wherever you are, friends are like, yeah, I got this. So, I'm just going to get these mashed potatoes in a bowl right now. They got coriander in there, a little cumin in there, right? I got super chilies in there. I put some peas in here too. There's just frozen peas. Steamed potatoes, right? I steamed them first, and then I skinned them, and I put the potatoes, okay, in the pan here, right? This is a comfort food for sure. Just keep the oil out, keep the grease out, keep the butter out. So here's how it works. I want to show you something, right? Okay? If you take some butter, right? See if we got some other butter here too. You take some butter and you put it on your mashed potatoes. You just created insulin resistance. Because the fat's going to block the glucose from getting to where it needs, and then you get the insulin resistance, right? If you take the butter and you put your butter on mashed potatoes, that's how we go wrong. That's how it goes wrong. This is steaming hot. This is a real comfort food here. If you want to add some sea salt, because a lot of people are going to eat sea salt anyway, and I can't stop them, they're going to have it anyway, I would put it in this dish. Black pepper too. If you're a black pepper person, then just use it, right? But black pepper's an irritant. So if you're sensitive, that's an irritant, so just keep that in mind, right? So what happens is glucose is going to derive from those mashed potatoes. That glucose is going to feed your brain. If someone said, like, potatoes, nightshades, that's a problem. Well, that's funny because potatoes are antiviral. That's a food you can eat to actually help defend yourself against the ailments you have, Hashimoto's, RA, lupus, neurological Lyme, whatever. But when you go to your functional medicine doctors, no potatoes, no fruit. And that's why people stay sick. That's why they stay sick. Misinformation is out there. That's why they stay sick. So, what happens is, what are you guys up against these days? Are you up against relationship issues? You got relationship problems? You got broken relationships? You got betrayal? Do you have broken trust? Do you have work stress, financial stress? What happens is that when we have all this stress in our life, we're going to then down the comfort foods. So that stress makes it so when we're unhappy because our adrenaline is running and surging, and we're unhappy because our adrenaline is just cooking and surging and cooking and surging. Where's my adrenals here? What happens is that we look for comfort foods. We're under fight or flight. It's like someone gives you bad news, a friend pisses you off, a family member puts stress on you, maybe you're up against something, and now we're up against something, whatever it is. And we're fight or flight. Then we're doing the caffeine, we're doing the chocolate, we're doing the tea, we're doing the caffeine and the coffee, and we're just fight or flight, and our adrenals are just fight or flight, fight or flight, fight or flight. We get emotional. We're on emotional hormones. Emotional hormones. We're on that emotional hormone ride. That emotional hormone ride, okay, which is caffeine and all the different stress we're under, right? And even if you're not doing caffeine, you could be under fight or flight stress from all these different situations. And you're on the emotional roller coaster because your adrenals are pumping out all that adrenaline, right? I need food. First of all, if you're really upset, I don't want to eat. And then your brain just starts to shut down because it's on so much adrenaline for being upset and being hurt and being not heard, being not validated, being wounded, right? Wounded. And then we're under stress. And MTDS, that's why I'm always hungry. You're under stress, right? Ingy, emotions. Yeah. And what happens is that we're under all that stress, and then it hits us. We gotta eat. We have to eat. And when we eat, we need that crazy stuff. We need that comfort food when we eat. When it's time to eat, we need the comfort food, right? We need the burgers, right? When it's time to eat, we need the burgers. That's what we need. That's what, when we say, my body tells me that this is what I need. Maybe you're vegan. My body tells me I'll have a vegan burger with vegan cheese, with all the fixings. You just see that stress makes it so we're fight or flight with all that adrenaline, and then now it's like time to eat, right? As it happens. And we end up starving our brain when that happens. Is what happens. So what are you supposed to do? Because we end up just falling into that trap where we put fat in everything and fats in everything. We got cheese, we got butter in everything, we got oil, we got olive oil drenched on everything. We got nuts and seeds and nut butters, we got chicken, we got beef, we got fish, we got fat everywhere, right? And then our brain slowly starves as the years go by because it's only getting a portion of the glucose it needs, not all of the glucose it needs. And then we overeat because our brain is saying, you need more glucose, you need more sugar, because I need more sugar, I need more glucose. And what we're doing is we end up overeating. And what's happening is the reason why we're overeating, you guys, is because we're trying to get a main line of sugar to the brain, and we don't know it. And alternative medicine and conventional medicine, they're not going to teach you otherwise. They're just going to say you got an eating disorder. They're going to say you're just eating out of emotions. That's what they're going to say. There's a way to battle fight or flight and emotions and still eat and give us what we need and not hurt our brain, right? So one of the big tickets is leafy greens. That's a big ticket right there. You got to have enough leafy greens going on in your diet. You got to have the cilantro. You got to have the leafy greens. You got to have enough of that going on. And you need the mineral salts every single day. You got to have the lemon water. You got to have the lime water. You got to have the celery juice every single day. It's critical to have the mineral salts. All that's really important. So you got to have the celery juice. You got to have the mineral salts. You have to have that, right? And leafy greens, celery juice, and then glucose. That's the combination right there. If you guys just got on here, I'm doing the Medical Media Morning Cleanse Challenge, Thursday live, Friday live, Saturday live, and we're going to be doing, I hope you guys have the Cleanse to Heal book. That's where the Medical Medium Morning Cleanse is, and here it is. It's on sale if you don't have the book. Amazon. It's like $16 and something. So get it free in the library if you want to. Doing the brain meditation tonight, 2-3 times tonight. Medical Medium Podcast and Apple Podcast. So the addiction comes out of the brain overheating and burning up its glucose reserve, burning up whatever glucose is in the bloodstream. And then that's when the addictions start taking place. That's when I need to live off of either adrenaline with all my caffeine, or I better live off all my food. I know people that are like, well, I don't eat a lot. I don't need to eat. I just need a glass of wine. I just need some caffeine, my coffee all day. Then they're just living off adrenaline, and then when they do eat, it's the sloppiest crap, the worst crap you ever want to know, because their brain's like, whoa, it's time to eat now. You need real glucose somehow, and your brain's telling you to eat, but then we're eating all the wrong things. We end up eating pizza, and so we end up getting that. So now we're eating pizza, and that's what happens. We get stuck. We end up overeating pizza. Who just has a half a slice of pizza? Do you guys know anybody that has a half a slice of pizza? I'm kind of curious. You guys, I'm holding a pizza right now in front of me on Clubhouse, you guys, if you don't know. Where can we learn about taking care of our adrenals? Which book? Cleanse and Heal is a great one, but the first one too. The new edition right here. It's a great book to learn about it. That's the new edition, though. Keep that in mind. Medical Media New Edition. Me, Shirley Ann, so who can get by with just a quarter of a slice of pizza? Half a slice of pizza? How many of you guys, when you do your pizzas, do you need to eat a half a pie? I got a friend who has to eat the whole pie. You have in the past, Jude? Yeah. How many, when it comes down to vegan pizzas, can you stop with one slice of a vegan pizza? If you have a vegan pizza on your counter, you're going to stop at one slice? You can have one slice left out loud? X Rose X. You're amazing. Vivi Acaro. Literally no one half piece swag. And the fake cheese on the vegan pizza is loaded with fat. I'm not saying you can't have a pizza if that's what you want. But I'm saying if you're sick and you haven't healed yet, you might want to learn how to take care of yourself. Medical Medium protocols, learn how to eat so you can heal yourself, so then you can indulge in a vegan pizza or a regular pizza if that's really what you want, and not get and still be okay. Unlike, there's oil in the sauce, right? There's egg in the crust in a lot of cases with pizza. Not always, but there's egg in the crust in a lot of pizzas. There's oil in the sauce, right? There's oil in the cheese, and then you got the sugar. You got the grain, that's the sugar there. You got the sugar there. You got the cheese, the lactose. You got the sauce, right? And then the mix becomes an insulin bomb, and you don't feed your brain. And that becomes a problem all on its own. So what happens is that our brain gets hot. We use it. We're heavy thinkers. We're under stress. We're burning our glucose reserve. And it's going to make us emotionally eat. For some people, there's never going to be enough food. They're going to eat until they're sick. And they're going to eat until they're sick again. And eat until they're sick again. That's what they're going to do. And the people that don't are drinking until they're sick. They're doing their alcohol until they're sick. The people that don't do the food part. If they don't use the fatty foods as a vice, then they're going to use the alcohol as a vice. That's what they're going to do. That's how it works. And then, that's how it is. If you're doing medical meme information and you get your life back and you heal, and you get your life back because you had to dive deep into the medical medium information to get your life back, then you want to have some fun. You did the work. You healed yourself through the medical medium information. And then, it's open, man. It's open for you to have a little indulgence, have a little fun. It's there for you because you did the work, you worked on healing, you got better. A lot of people have to go all the way in the MM info, all the way into it to recover so they can get their lives back, so they can even eat anything else, like other things that they want to eat, like food that's not really the best food or anything. Yeah. But you got to watch out. It could get addicting. It can get addicting because fat is an addiction. That's what it is. Same here. Mariana says, same here. Stopped all my food cravings since being on medical medium for over 2 years now. You had the celery juice. You got the leafy greens in. You know how to take care of yourself. You know what was lacking with all the vegans and plant-based people for so many years? I watched it over and over again. Over and over again, people coming to me, people in the vegan movement, heads in the vegan movement. Everybody's like, oh, what does Anthony William know? What do you mean? Anthony William had a coach. Literally almost every single vegan superstar out there. How do you like that? Going back from the 80s to the 90s to the 2000s. I had to coach and teach every vegan superstar that you see, that Dr. So-and-so, the vegan doctor, Dr. whoever. I had to actually teach and coach every one of them. Every one of them. And what I taught them was, you're fatting yourself to death. That's why your patients aren't getting better. That's why your people don't get better. You got to take out the fat. That's what I taught them. I also taught them you need your mineral salts. Where's your celery juice? Where's your leafy greens? Leafy greens? Never heard of that before. All right, so they were doing iceberg lettuce. That was the big thing in the vegan movement in the 1980s, 90s, and early 2000s was iceberg lettuce. It's iceberg lettuce and carrots and carrot juice. Are you kidding me? That's what it was, right? So the mineral salts are critical. So here's what your brain needs, you guys. We're doing a little brain talk tonight because it's all about the food, the addictions, the overeating, the addictions, the overeating. Your brain, isn't that fun? Your brain needs mineral salts, like the celery juice, the leafy greens, the lemon. You know what lemon was back years ago in the health movement? This was lemon. Did you guys know this? Okay, when I was teaching about lemon water back 30 plus years ago, okay? 30 plus years ago. This was lemon in the health movement right here. That was lemon in the health movement. I know people get mad when I say it. Too bad. Fact is a fact. Truth is a truth. That was lemon in the health movement. You go to a spa, that was lemon in the health movement. Back in the 80s, 90s. Lemon water, people are like, what? You know what else? Lemonade. Lemonade was lemon. That was the health movement. Medical medium lemon water, flushing the body of toxins, flushing the liver of toxins, cleaning the toxins out of the body, providing mineral salts. It's medical medium information. Yeah, people squeeze lemon in their water for years and years and years. Absolutely, before my time. But in the health movement, that wasn't even the health movement though. The health movement, it was putting a slice of lemon with your water, your seltzer water. That was the health movement. It was demented. Can I use limes instead of lemons? Yeah, let's do that. Right? Yeah, we can use limes instead of lemons. I love that. There you go, right? That was in the health movement right there. That's what it was. Okay? Yeah, limes are great. Mineral salts and limes, mineral salts and lemons. It's those critical mineral salts that are in those. Absolutely. Mineral salts in watermelon. Okay, that's another one too, in watermelon. Celery juice in spinach. Mineral salts in spinach. Critical. Right? So all those are important. That's how you beat emotional eating. That's how you beat that vicious cycle that takes over, turns you, feels like a demon is taunting you. A demon is taunting you. That's what it feels like. Emotional eating, emotional foods. Medical Medium spinach soup has saved so many people from this curse. The curse. The curse of ups and downs. Eating not good stuff, not eating. The eating not good stuff, not eating. The curse, right? The curse. You know, the curse. And then that's the whole thing people are up against. Really, it's one of the big things. It's like the curse. Chocolate. How many of you guys are still eating chocolate? I bet a bunch of you guys are. I get it. You just can't stay away from it. You should listen to the coffee, matcha tea, chocolate episode on Medical Medium Podcast at Apple Podcasts, you guys. Chocolate chip cookies. Cheese. Right? Grilled cheese. Yummy, yummy. Chocolate all the time. Yeah. It's like you get into this vicious cycle and you can't break it. You're stuck. Unless you learn how to eat a few mangoes every morning. Do the Medical Medium heavy metal detox. Wow, a lot to learn. Soup meant to be hot or cold. Spinach soup is cold, or just keep it room temperature, but it's not supposed to be cooked. Wow, a lot to learn, like learning a new language, but worth it. Jana, I'm honored you're here, truly. It's really worth it. And if you're new here, there's street cred here, okay? Just keep that in mind, right? Tens of thousands of healing stories, which no one has in any other community. Largest health community in the world right now is the Medical Medium community, okay? It is the largest one in the world. Millions of books around the planet in almost every single country in the world, right? Published in almost every single country in the world. Out there and all around the world. Coffee is not good. I crave chocolate, but I am breastfeeding, so not doing that to my baby. Incredible. Incredible. Your baby's going to love you for it. Your baby is going to love you for it, okay? Because your baby may not want to have chocolate right now. Okay? I'm getting a call from my baby. My baby's calling in a couple of minutes. Health with Liz. My baby's calling, you guys. Oh. Hey, baby? Hi. Hi, you're safe. Mommy's not going to do chocolate and give you a caffeine high. Yeah, science and research really doesn't protect mommies and babies. I know. So you're going to be allowed to nap all you want whenever you want, because when I keep on eating chocolate, I want this chocolate so bad right now though. When I keep on eating chocolate, you never get any rest. And science and research never tells anybody that. Wouldn't you think that science and research would look out for mommies and babies? Wouldn't you think so? I know, baby. The baby. I know. Don't worry. Because mommy's going to protect you from science and research, evil science and research. And you know what else, little baby? Mommy was at the doctor's office, and they tried to take 8 more vials out of me this month of blood. And I told them they're not going to take it out of me. You're welcome. I know, because every time I get 8 vials of blood out of me, you suffer. Because science and research doesn't know what happens to you, little baby, after your blood, all my blood is taken out. Yep. So I'm being very careful and taking care of my baby. And listen, you don't have to go through any caffeine withdrawals, baby. Nope. Because mommy's not going to eat chocolate or drink coffee anymore, even though evil cults, like alternative medicine and conventional medicine cults, want mommy to believe that chocolate is plant medicine and it's safe for mommy to eat. So you won't have to go through caffeine withdrawal. Yeah, little baby. I know. Someone said on the hair, wait, little baby, Snow Fox says, not all science is the darkness. Yeah, you just said, what did you say? My baby has a message to you, Snow Fox. Okay? My baby says, screw you. You didn't, that's a terrible thing to say. No, not good. I know you hear mommy say that all the time. And I know that babies pick up what mommy says. Snow Fox, I don't believe all science is evil. I don't. I believe science has got a lot of incredible things. But my baby says that science says mommy's allowed to do kombucha tea while pregnant, which turns the blood into straight acid. Science also says that mommies can have chocolate, coffee, and caffeine while pregnant now, which hurts the baby badly. I know you picked up a bad word from mommy because mommy's swearing all the time. I know you heard mommy and daddy get into an argument. You should be nicer to Sky Fox. Okay. We gotta go. Thank you for calling. The whole thing is Lemon Bomb Love. Do you think I pushed it too far? Lemon Bomb Love, you're my meter. Chronic illness is not a joke. Okay? And what happens is that what science research isn't telling moms is we're not supposed to take that much blood from mommy. We're not supposed to put mommy on all that caffeine. We're not supposed to breastfeed while on caffeine because the baby's going to go through constant drug withdrawal, psychoactive drug withdrawal. Can you imagine giving your little tiny baby a psychoactive drug? But see, it's not your fault as a mom. I will never judge you as a mom, ever. I will never judge you as a person or a mommy, ever, ever, ever. Snow Fox is laughing. Snow Fox, you're awesome. Thank you for being, Snow Fox said, thank you for being on here. Thank you for the truth bombs, Rosanna said, and why is coffee bad, Eliza says. Okay? Look, you can drink coffee, you can do it if you want, but it'll age you fast. It'll age you quick. It'll burn your adrenals out over time. You'll lose a precious hormone in your adrenals that does a lot for you. You'll burn the adrenals down. That's just one thing right there. It's a psychoactive drug, so it does cause harm on the brain over time. It puts your adrenals in fight or flight, which eventually burns out brain cells, glial cells. Glial cells can't handle that much adrenaline on a daily basis as the years go by. You also get the age spots. Caffeine gives the women all that malaise, all those age spots, sunspots. That's caffeine. A big part of that's caffeine. Caffeine causes reverse polarity. It kills a lot of young women when they do their treadmill or they do their jog on the street. Nobody talks about how many young women die from reverse polarity, from being jacked up on caffeine. What happens is it jumps the heart. So when you're doing the caffeine, you can jump the heart, and reverse polarity happens where blood backwashes and blows out the valve. That's what happens with caffeine. That's why there's women that are 32 years old and they're running on their treadmill and they drop dead, and no one talks about it. Cause unknown or heart attack or whatever. It's because of caffeine jumping the heart. I talk about that at the Medical Meeting Podcast at Apple Podcasts. Check it out when you can. There's caffeine in chocolate, green tea, black tea, coffee, matcha tea, whatever. So I'm not judging anyone. It's just that what's happening is people are tricked by the cults and the money-making cults and the industry cults, and they're tricked by the science cult. They're just tricked. You become a sucker. Your baby pays for it. Your baby pays for it. Your baby pays for it. That's how it's done. They're the ones causing it. I'm just the delivery of the bad news, but they cause it. They cause it.